guys, welcome to United. Welcome to another video. And today is again another time for another player review. Another, giving you my thoughts on players that maybe could join Barcelona, that would be an interesting option for Barcelona to consider. And today is time to talk about one of my favorite players, at least for this season, Rafinha Alcántara. And you guys might remember who Rafinha Alcántara is. I've mentioned him in a previous video not so long ago. And yeah, Rafinha Alcántara, that player that was such a superstar when he was at Barcelona, that he was, I think, one of the most promising players that I've seen in a while. And that you might consider, well, he right now is nothing too special, has been injured for a long time. And yeah, you are completely right. And judging a player right now, it's like, judging a player when he's at his lowest is always like, people are always skeptical. But in all things considered, Rafinha Alcántara for me is a player that if we really need, like, that creative midfielder, we're really looking at players like Fabian Ruiz, and I already mentioned the likes of Santi Cazorla. Well, not only signing Santi Cazorla I think will be a decent option, but more than Cazorla, and I forgot to mention in the video, was Rafinha. Because Rafinha, we already own the player. Like, he is a fantastic player, and he's not 35 years old. He is a 27-year-old, just turned 27 in February, and he's one of the best central midfielders like in La Liga this season. Like, he's been absolutely spectacular for Celta Vigo. You know that Celta Vigo team is led by the likes of Iago Aspas, but Rafinha this season has been like their second captain. Like, he's been absolutely world class for Celta Vigo. Like, he's really been one of the best central midfielders. And the thing is that when he's always been at Barcelona, when he's able to play, he's always performed well. Like, that's the thing that surprises me. A player that has never gotten continuity at Barcelona, that has always been, hit by injury. It's surprising that Rafinha is always able to come back at such a level. Like, if you think about it, every time that you see Rafinha come out of an injury, he comes and plays straight away and performs. Like, whenever the time that he's fit, he performs at a really good level. Like, he's always returning on top form. Like, on the two last preseasons that we've had in 2018 and 2019, Rafinha, together with Riqui Puig, was the best player of the preseason. Like, he's been on absolutely world-class form. And the thing is that, there have been preseasons that, in 2018, we didn't have the likes of Messi, like the Suarez. We didn't have our big stars because of the World Cup. And Rafinha was leading that forward line. And in 2019, Messi needed a partner. He needed someone to associate with. There was Rafinha. Like, there he was, like, leading again the line. And if you guys don't want to forget, like, the thing is that Rafinha, before his injury in 2016, which was pretty much the injury that was the catalyst for him just not being able to have continuity for a long time, by that really nasty tackle from Raja Nainggolan in that Roma Champions League game. Before that, Rafinha was honestly our fourth forward. Like, we were playing with Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, and then the first change was always Rafinha, and he was performing at a really level. Luis Enrique made Rafinha the starting forward when Messi got injured. You remember that period, I believe, was between, I think, October and December-ish, when Messi got injured for those 2 months of time, and we played with Rafinha, with Luis Suarez, and with Neymar. And pretty much Rafinha did not look out of shape, and Barcelona did not look out of shape, because we were playing at an unbelievable level. Not saying that we played better without Messi, but I'm saying that we were playing at a fantastic level. And you might be saying, well, yeah, that was the months that Suarez and Neymar were carrying the team, but Rafinha was also doing the business. He was absolutely spectacular for Barcelona. Like, that's the thing. That's why I think that losing Messi is not that big of a deal. It's a big deal, but we can deal with losing Messi if we have a team that's able to, play without Messi. We have a project that's built. During those months of time, like, we are able to deal without Messi because I know that we are able to play with Messi because we've beaten Real Madrid twice by a lot. The 5-1 last season and the 4-0 in 2016. 2 games that we played without Messi, with Suarez being the star, because we just need that in the forward line. We need a team that first of all is able to play well, and second of all is able to deliver the ball to the forwards in advantageous situations, and have forwards are quality enough to perform at such levels. And Rafinha, I think that at least for like a backup option, and for an option that is going to be able to give Messi some rest, he's able to play in midfield, he's able to play down either wing, and he's able to play as a false 9. Like Rafinha is part of that generation of players that, together with Gerard Deulofeu, with those kind of players, he was like doing so well at Barca V. He got promoted to first team, and wherever he's gone, he's been spectacular. At Celta Vigo before, with Luis Enrique, he was really good. At Inter, he did not get a single injury for 6 months, and was really, really good, and that's what pushed Inter, I believe, to that Champions League spot back in 2018. So I think that having Rafinha being like trusting in him is something we should do. He's a player that has been able to, give intensity, and the stats this season overall from Rafinha has been spectacular. Let me just tell you some of the stats, and you guys, I will tell you in comparison how it looks like. 8.7 duels per game. He wins 8.7 duels per game, and Casemiro's at 8.6. Let me just tell you that Casemiro, probably if you say who is the best defensive midfielder in the La Liga this season, you'll probably say Casemiro. 8.7 duels per game for Rafinha. 3.4 tackles and interceptions, and I believe a good number is about anything 3 and above is pretty decent. And Rafinha also is able to give you 2 dribbles per game, and an average number is 1. 2 is already a really good number. And when you consider that where does Rafinha dribble? He doesn't dribble down the wing. He's a player that likes to come inside and dribbles in those central areas, because he's able to dribble centrally where there is less space, where the dribble is more valuable. That's why Messi is the best player in history, because he's able to dribble 4 or 5 times per game down the central areas where it is so hard to dribble, where there's like 9 players in between, like there's just so much cover down those central areas. So a player that's going to be able to give you dribbles down the middle, that's able to contribute defensively, that's able to press, that's able to give intensity, like that is what Rafinha is. He's a player that has the technique to be a really good quality Barca player. And honestly, this season, if we had Rafinha, he would be the way that he's playing this season, he would start for Barcelona in that forward line. For me, if we had our best players this season fully fit, it will be Rafinha, Messi, and Luis Suarez as a forward line, because Rafinha's honestly been that good. He's been sensational. He is able, like I said, to play multiple positions. Like he can fill in that right wing position. During this season, he was our best forward before we had Messi back. Before he got sent on loan, he was playing down the left wing. Once Ousmane Dembele got injured, he was performing fine. As a false 9, he can perform and be perfectly fine. And as a center midfielder, he can be absolutely fantastic. He's also a player that has that character, that just that commitment. Like he not only doesn't care about losing, he cares when he loses, but he also cares when he doesn't win. He's a competitive monster. Like he's always wanting to win every single game, and that is something that's really important. You put that together, that Rafinha is a player that from La Masia, from the youth academy, he's been at Barcelona for so long. He wants to try for Barcelona. He is a player that, in comparison for someone from abroad, he feels the Barcelona colors. He wants to be at Barcelona. He wants to succeed. This is the club that he wants to succeed at. Yes, he's from Balaídos. He's from Celta Vigo, but he's been at Barcelona for so long that if you tell him right now, you're gonna be important, you're gonna have a lot of minutes, let's work together to keep you fit, because I know that Rafinha is not only getting injured because of Barcelona, because we've been seeing the same thing over and over again. It's Rafinha, one day it's Rafinha, the other is Ousmane Dembele, then Messi for a few days, Suarez is entering here, Umtiti, Sergio Roberto, Piqué from time to time is playing with with half a leg. Like, you know, like we're just getting so many injuries that it's not normal. And I could keep going. The list of injuries keeps going. But like, we need to work in a plan. Our physios need to change. The way that the players are doing some kind of things need to change, because with Luis Enrique, we were not getting these chronic injuries. And actually, with Ernesto Valverde during his first season, we were not getting these chronic injuries. The injury that Ousmane Dembele had that season was just a very unfortunate rupture that had nothing to do with the way that we were training. Like, pretty much every player leaves the Barcelona way of training and they do perfectly fine. For example, the best example is Arthur Melo. He arrived from Brazil. The first 6 months, he was really good and he was like seeming just unbelievable at Barcelona. Then after that, he starts getting injured over and over and over again. Goes and plays the World Cup actually not the World Cup. He goes and plays the Copa America, and guess what? He plays all the 90 minutes of all the games and is probably the best center midfielder of the tournament, or one of the best center midfielders of the tournament. Goes back to Barcelona and the guy can't play 60 minutes and gets injured 2 or 3 times so far this season. Like, you know, the way that we're doing things is not like, we need to work different with all the players. And if we can get the best of Rafinha, I am sure that that's going to pay dividends and it's going to help us forward being the better squad. Like, the more players that we have from La Masia, the more they know each other, the more they want to win for the shirt. Like, being at Barcelona is not just being at a big club, it's being with your childhood club, being at a club that you've been there in a lot of years, that you develop a feeling for them, and they're gonna give that extra mile that players from abroad might not give. You're really adapted to the city, you have, you know your teammates, you know the language. All those things are so important for a core of players to succeed. But anyways, that was my opinions on the Rafinha situation. Leave me your opinions. Would you like Rafinha to come back to Barca? Do you think that we should give him another opportunity? Do you think that he's good enough? How do you think he's playing this season for Celta Vigo? Leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next one, Blaugranas.